Hey guys, Hal Jackie here, and today I've got a city that's ready to be developed, and I thought I would do some commentary over it. So I've spent quite a while developing this new city. I've got the road network set up, utilities set up. I've also put in a bunch of plops. They're mostly for jobs. As you can see, the vast majority of the zones that I've got are residential, mostly because they'll be commuting to the buildings that I've put here. As well, there's a big city over here. There's a big city over here. There's a big city over here. Up here, though, there isn't anything big yet. So, with that, I guess I can show you the region view before I dive in too much into this city. You can just see the overview. So I'll just save and exit to the region for a second. Shouldn't take too long. I just wanted to show this first. There's a main highway here, kind of stretches down, curves a bit, and heads out. There's some farms here. You'll see some more farms over there, but I think it'll get more dense. And then over here is an east-west highway, big interchange here, small interchange here, and that's really it. So I don't know why the transportation network makes this city look a little bit different than the rest. I have a bit of a bug where it sometimes saves with the right one and sometimes it doesn't. But anyways, this is kind of the region I've been working on. I've hit milestone 30 million people. Built a new bridge connecting here. I did that in the You Drive It video not too long ago. And then this is kind of like the newer region that I've been doing. And then this is an older region here. If I put on the satellite mode, you can see it a bit more that this is the area that I'm working on. It will join this big city over here with this big city over here, and it'll become kind of one big megalopolis if it isn't already. Yeah, so you can kind of see that it's going here. A lot of these are like integrations from other regions that I've been putting together in one giant region. There's still a lot to work on over here, but I do have like smaller communities further up into the mountains here. If I go up, there's some farms here, some more buildings over there and stuff. But mostly not a whole lot going on. Just kind of coming over here a bit. So you can kind of see like it's easy to see the highway network and stuff in the region view here. Just all these black lines and stuff, and they turn. I guess they still are black. Just the rest of the stuff isn't black. Anyways, let's load up this city. It's called Fenrish Marsh, mostly because it's a marshland. But it's not going to be a marshland much longer. I thought about maybe putting some like agriculture or parkland here, but then I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to kind of do my thing. When I do my thing, I build a whole bunch of roads and highways and subways and stuff, and then, well, I kind of need a high-density population to support all that infrastructure, so I started zoning and just kind of got back into my own thing, so yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. Shouldn't load too long. I've got a SSD and it just loaded the city before. Lots of RAM. I got this. I think it's a custom menu thing. It just says all kinds of random stuff. So I think it said loading errors before. Now it says stapling sim. Oh, okay. Here we go. So zoomed in on the city. Obviously, this highway here has intersections. I may eventually put interchanges on it. But I'm not entirely sure yet. Hopefully the frame rate's okay. It's already choppy without me putting even on the simulation. You can see a lot of plops and stuff. This is a major transportation network connector city for the bullet train mod. There's like 3 lines from the west that kind of come east and also go south. So to combine all that crap together, there's a lot of junctions and stuff in the city. You can kind of see here, there's a double line that connects 2 of the east-west routes together because this one kind of goes and curves and heads out of the city that way by the farms. Kind of going over here a bit more. This just heads east-west over here. And put in a lot of turning lanes and stuff here too, so that should help with traffic congestion a little bit because it does increase the capacity of the intersection, especially if you put in these slip lanes because it adds an extra tile of capacity. So just move up. There is a second line. Oh right, yeah, there were 3, right? There was one here, And then further down, there's the second one here. And so if you follow this line, yeah, it junctions with this network and then goes over the bridge. I couldn't put very many stations on this line just because of the slope and how restrictive the bullet train slope mode is. Sorry, the bullet train slope mod. So just putting in, some underpasses and connecting spots where they have to be flat was just enough to get it to work. And I don't really have any good diagonal stations, so it's only when the route starts to curve back into a normal orientation that I can put in a station. So yeah, so one of the east-west routes here just continues diagonally. There's a long diagonal stretch. Then again, it goes over another river and out of the city. Oh, I may as well show the rail line while I'm over here. So there's a north-south rail line that does a diagonal curve in the city, just like the bullet train. So kind of starts over here, has big station here, tunnels underneath this road, tunnels underneath this river, emerges, has another station, has a bridge over like this little stream or pond. This is the marshland. That's why I kind of call it a marsh. So also, this is a cool little park. Like, I did a little bit of terraforming around, but this was like the natural kind of end of the marshland, I guess you would call it. So I put in a park here. I think it'd be kind of nice to be in that park, surrounded on three sides by water. Well, I guess there's rail on one side, but whatever. And then here it gets kind of deep again. This is the main river, and there's a ferry terminal. I don't really think I need ferries in this region, but Sims really like to flock to them. So anyways, the rail line curves a little bit and then transitions to this main junction here where I've got another station, heads to the east. And if we go west, it parallels the highway for a short, maybe a medium length stretch. Has another station here. It's a bit of a bug. See how these all these cars are coming in and then they're turning into buses over here? Well, if I query it, it's because of the station. No, it's not letting me query it. Anyways, I don't know why, but I guess I have to start the simulation again for maybe it to register. But there's 10,000 trains coming in, or what is it, 15,000 now, and then a ton of cars and a ton of buses, and they all come to this station, and then the station turns it all into bus. So you can see that there's like 12,000 buses here, and then I guess a lot of people get off, they take the subway. It doesn't really tell me if there's any commuters right now, but if I query it, yeah, there's some stuff here. So, yeah, it's already got 44% usage, even though this the city isn't even developed yet. So this is the other bullet train line. Before I digress, it parallels both the rail line and the highway up to a certain point. Here we have a bit of a split. So the rail line curves to the northwest and continues this orientation for a very long, well, medium length stretch, I guess, and has another station, exits the city. The bullet train line has another kind of these, what I call a triangle junction or something, with another north-south line, and then that turns into the curve we were talking about earlier, where it kind of curves and finally has a station. I will show the last curve here. This is the third east-west line. Kind of goes over the highway here. Has another bridge over the main navigable river, and then exits the city again. What else should I show? Maybe the highway. So this is like the highway that connects those two regions that I showed in the region view together. So it's going to be very important as a link. So I've got it as 4 lanes for now, but I could always widen it to 5, although that doesn't really do anything in terms of capacity. I've already built this bridge as 5 lanes, at least one way, just because there's a connector here. And the only way for me to get it to work was to put in this really like long 5-lane bridge. That's why the approaches like start really far out, because this is the absolute minimum length of the 5-lane bridge versus the 4-lane bridge on the other side, which is not as long on either end. Anyways, there's a big interchange here. Priority has been given to the connecting ramps here. So you've got, what is this, the northbound to westbound and the eastbound to southbound. These are both double lane ramps, and they have priority in the design. I know it's a left exit here. As you can see, there's a, you have to stay to the right to continue straight. But that's because I'm expecting the majority of the traffic to use the ramps. Uh, Up here, this highway starts to thin out a bit. It approaches like the harbor lands that you saw in the region view, narrows down to 2 lanes. Keep it at 3 at least till it exits the city, but it'll basically be 2 lanes at the next interchange, and then it'll end over there. 2 lanes in each direction, I should say. Sorry. So yeah, there's an interchange here, and then yeah, the big main interchange here. There's a minor flyover here that I kind of stuck in. The rest of them are loops. This loop's kind of neat because it goes over like level 1 and level 2. I had to use that right here. There's like a one of those transitions that goes from level 2 to level 1. I kept it pretty seamless so that it's all like the same height. There's no curve or elevation change in the actual ramp itself. It's the if I press G, it shows it a bit better. It's the actual slope of the ground. So if you didn't know how to turn on and off the grid, it's G, the hotkey G. So yeah, so that's why this loop is a little bit more elongated than the other here. So we'll move down this highway because of all this crap in the middle here. I gave it a wide median. It's actually 2 tiles, which I think is among my widest. I usually don't go more than 1. There are some instances where I've done more. I think my max is 5, but not for like any new highways like this. So I got a 10-lane bridge. I made it very, very, very wide, and it moves down here with a half interchange. With this road that kind of bridges over as well. This is kind of like the bullet train route because it kind of merges in on each side over here. Kind of the same with this road. Kind of merges in over here and becomes the ramps. Continues for a short bit. Has another interchange here with the just the flyover, just like straight. If you want to go straight, it ends, but if you want to curve, that's where the highway continues. Continues here with another half interchange. That completes all of the connections. So there's 2 ramps here and the opposite 2 ramps here. So if you want to go this way, you gotta go all the way around here. And I use some nifty little roundabouts here to get it to work. I hope they don't get overloaded with traffic, but I hope I think they should be okay. And then here it just kind of exits the city. The east-west highway, I showed it up to the interchange, so I'll just kind of go a bit more over here. Where is it? So here it kind of all connects together. And then I made a cut between the stream here because it's all marshland, so it's all alone in terms of like nearby development and stuff. And here there's an interchange, just a regular diamond interchange. I'm expecting traffic on this to be quite heavy. It already is, just because this is the only bridge and only interchange on the highway other than the main junction over there. So I'm thinking, let's zoom out. Yeah, okay. I'm thinking that I may eventually need to build another overpass somewhere around this area. So I have an avenue that curves this way, right? So I might have to maybe blow up the stadium, build another kind of bridge or something, have an overpass over the highway, and then maybe have a curve and meet up with this route here, maybe like diagonally. But that's kind of a to-do project, is to build a new overpass. I don't think it would be an interchange, just an overpass. And then I can upgrade this to like a what do you call the single point urban interchange. There's a lot of room for that, so I'm not too concerned. But this route itself will be pretty busy as well, so I might have to make this a 3-tile road, Av6 or turning lane 7, just because it's it's the only major north-south route that crosses. Yeah, over here this is where I start to really break the grid. I have a lot of really interesting blocks or whatever you want to call it. They really have no form here. They're all over the place, and this is because of the train changes, the bullet train curve, the water nearby. There's all kinds of stuff that led to me building all these really, really weird anti-grids, if you want to call it that. But I kind of like the way that they worked out, because there's no this is the only real solid block in the entire area. Everything else is just a little different, and I kind of like that. Over here, it gets more standard. There's a bridge, and then yeah, this thing goes over here. There's another bridge over here. I got like just some universities. I don't know if I'll keep that. And this is the main connector here. And then this road here widens to 6 lanes as it exits the city, because that's a major road further out. But I'm digressing a little too much. I might put the simulation on now. I haven't really done much else work. Is there anything else I should show? This is kind of like the main downtown area. I have some little bit of aesthetic consistency here. I want to keep it kind of old school, almost looking over Central Park with the Art Deco stuff in New York City. I kind of tried to keep it there with this design. Just zoom in a bit. With just some older Art Deco style buildings there. I think it's kind of neat. Over here, I think this is my first 6-way roundabout that I've ever made, like properly anyway, aside from testing and whatnot. I think it looks kind of neat the way it is there. Lots of trees, lots of parks in this city to help absorb pollution, create more of a livable area. Oh yeah, I should mention this. This is just a bus hub that I've put in next to a station here. And then just have a public square over on this side. And then we got the Times Square building, because why not? You know. Yeah, lots of turning lanes, double turning lanes, so that'll probably get a lot of use. I'll probably have to build some more over here. I just got lazy, I guess. A lot of the turning lanes and like extra work that I do will get off-shadowed by dense development, so I'll spend all this time making like such a perfect road system, and then as soon as the development gets in, you can hardly see it sometimes. So this time I was a little preemptive and just got a good chunk of it out of the way first. I think that's all I wanted to share before I start the simulation. 17 minutes and I haven't even pressed play. I've been talking a lot, but that's good. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I have some high-tech industry up here. Another park with some hospitals here. But I mean, I'm showing like a whole city. Like it took me it took me 100 parts to build a city from scratch. I don't know if you remember that series for a long time viewers of this channel. I have a 100-part series where I develop a whole city tile, and I'm doing it all in one part here because, well, I kind of wanted to see just what would happen if it's all kind of pre-made and ready to go. So, yeah, that's the only real to-do project that I could think of right now, along with maybe building an interchange here. I already got one over here, but this is just at grade because I really don't know where the traffic is going to be using it the most. Like I could put the interchange here or here. There's not too much more room because of the curve and the exit of the city, so I'm not sure. And then yeah, I've already talked about that. Yeah, let's start the simulation and just watch the growth here. It might be quiet. I might keep talking. I'm not sure. But here we go. Now. Alright, so the simulation is stopped. Sometimes it likes to crash, but there's already a lot of building. Some of the plops that I have continue to, will just build. They need to build, so you can kind of watch that. You can watch the date. You can see that my environment's already degrading and my health and education is increasing because, well, there was nothing there before, along with safety and stuff. So I'll have to keep an eye on my taxes and stuff. So let's take a look right now. How am I making so much money already? I need to, okay, because I got the Herman Cain, the 999 tax plan. I don't know if you guys remember the 2012 U.S. election. I know it's been overshadowed by the 2016 election, but there was a guy who was running, I think he was a Republican by the name of Herman Cain. He wanted like a 999 tax plan. So people called it like the SimCity tax because everything is 9 when it first begins. So I'll tax the high wealth services and stuff right now. That'll give me a relatively balanced budget, and see where some of the development is here. So you can kind of see some stuff grow here. I'll minimize the tab. Already the highway traffic's kind of vanished. It's probably like, whoa, what do I look at all these extra roads now? Because I had the highways in originally. So you can kind of see some growth here. It takes a little while for the residential stuff to grow as well, but once it knows it's all there, it's good. Frame rate's kind of crappy. Just gonna zoom out for a sec. I hope it doesn't crash, but oh, okay, you're starting to see some residential development over here. So rich people like the waterway, like in lots of parks and stuff. So I should get a lot of high wealth residential development in this city. I'll just quickly do mayor rating. Crime rate shot up right away. Commute time's gone straight down because, well, probably nobody's commuting in this city anymore. Power is good. Water should be good. Air pollution has kind of come back to regular rate, I guess. And then you'll see look at the jobs and population just spike. I've already got 170,000 people in just a couple minutes here. Water pollution, garbage, education shot straight up. It's kind of useless to look at this right now. Yeah, there was my income and expenses thing. My funds, mayor rating, traffic volume would be interesting to see. Everything just going because it doesn't really know what to do. Oh, it spiked up again here. So you can see that as of right now, subway is just barely the most used. Well, not just barely, but as more and more people come in, they'll discover the road network and the subway network and stuff. I'll just zoom out and see where else I can find for development. Because it kind of just all likes to develop in chunks. And I mean, you start off with poor people, and as you get educated and stuff, you'll get more rich people. So it's kind of a mix. You usually don't get a lot of middle class at the very beginning. I put in a cruise ship port here because why not? I want to find some more development. There's a bit of a building boom over here. Oh, I hate this building. It likes to overlap on the road. No, I don't like you. Go away. Every once in a while, I like to demolish the grown zones, the grown zones. Oh, there's a clump here. Just because I don't like the way it looks, or because there's prop box, or it just doesn't develop right. So, yeah, I got a dual lane here with like a nice little split. In the road, they become one lanes. Not one lanes, one way. And then they kind of merge together for a two-way. Put in a double turn lane here because, why not? I know there's going to be a lot of traffic. So we'll go to the graphs. Just like that, 3 big zones is built here. Move over here. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. I don't like this building. Maybe one, but that's it. I've got dirty industry. Oh crap, I don't want dirty industry. That's gonna make me, it's gonna make my pollution really, really crappy. So to get rid of industry, you tax the absolute crap out of it. So we'll do 20, and it might take a couple months or so for it to go away, and you got to demolish it also. Boo on me. I'm already making a crap load of money, so you can lower this tax rate down quite a bit. I'm still making a lot of money. Let's go down to 0 and 1% maybe. Once it demolishes industry, it's going to be leveled out. So yeah, I don't want this. I want high tech. Got a lot of repetition here. They'll develop. They'll make themselves more useful a little bit later on. Oh yeah, I don't want this. My environment's gonna be like, what the hell did you do to the environment? It'll take a couple months, but then no more high tech will develop. This is a high tech, so I just need to be careful not to demolish everything. There's some manufacturing here. It doesn't pollute as much. Oh, I demolished a road there. High tech, yeah, high tech manufacturing pollutes, I think 0 or next to 0, whereas the manufacturing industry is like moderate. Put the turn lanes back in. I mean, they're big employers, I know, but I just don't want the pollution, buddy. Also, I don't really have a whole lot of downloads because I've never been much of an industry guy. There are some people who do it really well, but I am not one of them, and I'm not Oh, I demolished that guy by mistake. I'm too lazy to figure out what that building was, so I'm just gonna rezone it with standard tiles. Oh, actually, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I didn't put this intersection in right, as you can see, because that building was in the way. And that's the problem with these turning lane extension pieces. So I'll put in the intersection piece here, so that people can actually drive through it. So that's somewhat important. Kill all these things. That's high tech, I think. That's high tech. I just demolished that by mistake. Oh well. And then yeah, you can see now that there's high tech stuff building. I'm already at 573,000 people. It just shot up by 120,000 in 1 second there. Oh, there's still a manufacturing guy here. But I'll revisit the industry in a bit. Oh, maybe I can't because there's still some more over here. Nothing too terrible. Is that manufacturing? No, that's high tech. I got some new downloads as well for the high tech industry, so that's why you may be seeing some stuff that you're not super familiar with. All right, yeah, lots of dense development over here. Take a quick screenshot. Hopefully, you guys have been enjoying like the time lapses and stuff. I've done that for a couple buildings, but a couple growing things. A lot of repetition, but they work themselves out. These guys like to develop a whole lot together. But I just like seeing the skyscraper jungles come out of nowhere. 622,000 people. I don't know what I'll get. Maybe a million and a half to 2 million in this city. Maybe not that high. Probably a million and a half. You can see that the environment's improving. Safety is not too good. Do I need more police stations? Just gonna hit the data views here for crime. Oh, I got a good amount of police stations. I just don't want to overdo it. I think when people get settled in, more educated, they'll be safer. I mean, it's still relatively good. 764,992 right now in the city. I don't like this building. And yeah, it's starting to grow like a weed now. Got a brown box here, or present. Let something else grow there instead. And then yeah, this is the building I don't like. I should just delete it from my plugins, but there's so many of them that there'd be a lot of brown boxes instead of. This one didn't develop right. It's just a hut. Yeah, go away. Put something else in there. So yeah, obviously traffic's going to degrade to a good amount while people kind of find their way. Right, once the road and subway networks fill up to their capacity, you'll see some changes in the road work. 816,000 people now in a short span of time, and we keep growing. There's still plenty of room going in here. People will learn how to use this interchange and stuff in a bit. Oh, a couple of brown boxes here. Just have to do a little bit of cleanup. More and more stuff. The frame rate's getting kind of crappy because there's so much stuff going on. Placing my bet that while recording this, the game doesn't crash because I'm going a long way between saves. 854,000 people now. And there's a lot of no job signs. They'll get used to it once they kind of settle in. I don't have a whole lot of commercial in this town. I may have to reload some other cities nearby that have an excess of commercial jobs, then reload this city there's still some more industry here. Reload this and reload this city so that those Sims now know that there's jobs elsewhere. Deleting this should help with my environment as well. Is this one high tech? I think it is. Yep, yeah, high tech. It's dirty. This is manufacturing, I think. Yeah, we'll take that one out too. No, 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 I just want to bulldoze it. Can't see too much else. Yes, traffic is starting to become a bit of a problem now. People will figure it out a little bit later on. Looks like I've got a place here where nobody knows where to live. So we'll just kind of fix that up. Because I put a wrong plop somewhere. Yep. Well, no, it's just kind of deformed a little bit. Can't really place anything there because of the zoning. So we'll just cover that up with some trees. Kind of like I did on this side. So just kind of scroll until I find the tree plop that I've been using. I got a lot of stuff. I got to clear out my plugins folder again. Yep, now there's a big building boom over here. Sometimes as soon as you place something new, like a park, that's enough to just jumpstart a whole bunch of growth. Which is what you're seeing here. Low income for now. That makes the population a little extra inflated. Like your population will just explode at the very beginning. I'm at almost at 1 million already. But as they get educated, right? They like a medium or high wealth residential tower will not house as many people as a low wealth tower, so they require a little bit more land. So your population will decrease, or at least remain stable, even though a lot more land is being developed. So I've just hit 1 million people. I'm at 1,035,000 in this town, and there's still plenty of room. I don't like that building. And then yeah, there's a lot of repetition, but I'll eventually I'll come back and fine tune this. This is just a video just to show all the growth and stuff. Doesn't look like this one's actually developing. Is this the house? Remember there's like one with like just a house developing? Just let it grow and see. 11 million, not 11, 1,100,000, I guess, but it's 1.1 million now. Yeah, it's just a house. I'll get rid of that. Yeah, still plenty of room for growth. It's a good spot too. Anything going on here? Oh, they want farmers market. Nothing but green stuff. That's good. Bridge bottleneck. Oh, where's the problem here? We have a bridge that is overcrowded. Yep, this is the one I was talking about. This is the one where I said I might have to make it 3 tiles. That's not that bad. It's only 6,000 cars. Oh, there's some brown boxes here. At least one. But it looks like there's a lot of no job zots. So I should load some other cities so that they know that there's jobs there. Things are already starting to abandon just a little bit. But I don't know what the needs and demands are of a city until they're built. But other commercial areas will get develop a bit more as well. So I'll just show some data views. 1.25 million now, 1.25 million. So this is the terrain. You can see the The other region that's where the higher train is, and it starts to transfer to this region, which is much lower, hence the marshland. Fire hazard, don't really have a whole lot of stations, so hopefully that's good. Crime, yeah, it's all over the place, but it's mostly because it's low income right now. People will get better. At 1.3 million now. Education, yeah, as you can see, there's some areas here where there's less educated people. They'll get better. Desirability, basically just the land value. Agricultural zones. Water supply should be good. I'm not going to do the zones view because that's always bad. So you can kind of see the traffic problems here. This bridge is pretty crowded. And this is the subway line below. That's what you're seeing. You can see your traffic volume as well. So this is a high volume, but at least it's moving well. I was able to upgrade that to a highway. And then yeah, this interchange here is pretty red in terms of volume. But in terms of congestion, it's just the overpass here that's bad. The highway itself is okay, which is good. This is all kind of bunged up here. Don't know why it's so bad. Usually at the corners of every city, things can get kind of bad. This is yeah, pretty red here in terms of congestion. So people really like the rails. Apparently, they love riding the rails. Yeah, 30,000 here. The highways are still pretty green, although they're pretty high capacity too. In terms of volume, they're carrying a good amount of volume. Let's see the pedestrian routes. A lot of people walking nearby here to subway stations, I'm assuming. Yeah, so you can see the subway network there. Subway network saves me. I couldn't get development this dense without it. Coming up to 1.4 million people in the city. Car traffic, pretty bad. Bus, more and more people will take the bus, I think, once things are getting in. Mostly it's on the highways. And see how this road's doing too. The subway network is very large. It's hard for me to show here. Sometimes going underground mode will crash the game. So, yeah, some routes are pretty heavy. But yeah, the amount of subways in this that I have in this city are nowhere realistic. Like maybe just a couple lines in the real world. Oh, I pressed zone view. Why did I press zone view? I didn't mean to press zone view. All right. Well, at least you can see the zone view here at a high level. But just to exit it can take quite a long time because she shows the subway routes and stuff too. So this is gonna take a while to go to land value. I'm sorry. I apologize. I told myself not to do it, and I did it anyway. Coming up to 1.5 million people in the city as well, which I think that's roughly the population that'll level off at between 1.5 and 2 million. My largest city got to about, I don't know, 3.3 million, but that was like just super dense and kind of this has a lot of water, has some farms, those marshlands, and I got some industry at the top. So I mean, it's not meant to be the most dense thing, even though it is pretty damn dense. People like me. Healthcare, yeah, they'll get treated a little bit later on. Air pollution, that's something I need to keep an eye on. People don't like this stadium, even though there's a park here. So to get rid of air pollution, I usually I don't like this building. I don't know what the source is. Is this stadium the source of that? Seems kind of weird. Get rid of air pollution, I usually just plop a whole bunch of trees, happy little trees. They kind of spur development too. And here it's kind of hazy. We call this just a forest park here. That should gunk up a lot of the pollution. Or a good amount of it. Over here, there's still some pollution here. I know. Put some trees there. Any other spots where I can put it? Maybe some right there. Put it there. I see a brown box. Fix up the pollution a bit. Over here, things are kind of hazy too. I don't like this building. But I mean, you can eventually, like, you could drive yourself crazy trying to control this pollution. I'm just trying to do it at a high level right now. Get rid of the main problem areas. Yeah, see, there's not too much there. So I'll get rid of the main hazy spots. Sometimes you just have to replace a park with some forests because the forests are much better at absorbing pollution. There's not a whole lot of room here. I'm at 1.5 million people now. See, I'm gonna drive myself crazy if I keep trying to fix pollution. It's all low, right? It's just like yellow, which is the lowest amount. Go to water pollution. There shouldn't be any. I just have to load up the water network. It'll take a second. No, things are good. Garbage, I don't expect there to be any. Radiation, just a little bit in like the research facility. So overall, the city's moving good. I thought this part would get this video to 1 million people, but I'm almost times 2 that now. Seems to be stabilizing a bit though. Traffic's kind of going down. Will continue to go down. I gotta load some other cities in order for more residential zones to develop because there's a lack of jobs in the city. We'll do some zoom ins while I'm here. Don't know why it's not working here. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't really hear a whole lot of game sounds. I don't know why I didn't hear that earlier. Not sure, but I'm not going to toy with it here. I don't want to destroy the recording. Maybe it just doesn't like it. I'll have to figure that out. It's been a while since I've done a recording. So anyways, we'll just do a quick little zoom in. As we approach 1.6 million people. That's a lot of people. Frame rate's kind of bad. Probably because there's so much going on. Don't crash on me. Got a lot of some more construction here. We'll zoom in on this construction. You can kind of see what I'm saying, right? Like this intersection, you can hardly see anymore because of all the development. But all that just keeps adding more and more crap to the city. This is the building that likes to overlap other buildings. I'll get rid of it. Looks like people are heading out of the region now for work. Still not having a good time querying it. I don't know what's going on. The volumes are still pretty light. It's almost like I need to put an interchange on this side, but it's pretty small for one. More, what do you call it? Green area, greenfield development happening here. Intersection. Lots of flow. Like, I mean, I try to put these in as a best guess, but I don't know if I need slip lanes in every direction, right? I don't know which way the traffic's actually going to go. Can't hurt, though. Can't plan for everything. You can overplan and overbuild. Like, for example, this dual left. There's hardly anybody using it right now for the, at least for the morning commute. The query doesn't work too well. Works over here fine. So you can kind of see where people are going. Oh, another hut here. A lot of traffic on this one-way road, at least the way it's signaling. Yeah. 14,000. The bullet train lines are getting used pretty well. This is a big building here. Oh, another got a brown box here. Zoom in on this roundabout. Put in a casino here, Treasure Island. Why not? For your gambles. If you guys have never seen Stan's Gambling Tips or Stan's Gambling Tips, I recommend doing that. Do a Google search for Stan's Gambling Tips. He calls them Grambling Tips. It's a horrible strategy. It's pretty funny. Looks like you got some buses using the highway, leaving the city. Some mixed traffic. Approaching 1.7 million people. Yeah, and how's this highway handling stuff? That's a good amount of bus traffic on it. So yeah, I'll eventually put an interchange on this road. Anybody using this to head out of the city? No? My neighbor connector's messed up? Oh, they look okay. Did I forget to put neighbor connectors there? Sometimes maybe it's a problem on the other side of the city, on the other city tile. I'm just gonna try and throw it in again here. Maybe just no one simply wants to drive that way. Open road for nothing. Error loading football field. They play in a field of nothing. It's a void. Wonder what you could play in the void. Probably not too entertaining. Oh, I don't like this tower. So yeah, income will probably develop a bit better here, and as income goes up, these will be replaced by like medium and high income residences, which will lower my population a little bit, at least in terms of there. Don't freeze, don't freeze, don't freeze. How's this dual track? I put 2 tracks in here because I thought it would be pretty heavily used, and I mean it's getting there. Use is kind of heavy. It seems like this is the main bit here. Seems to be handling its volume pretty well. It's filled in kind of nice. People still don't know where to go or where to drive yet. They'll figure it out. Traffic is improving actually just a tiny little bit. Safeties remain the same. I'll just do a quick traffic query at the end. Make sure things are okay. Starting to get some denser skyscrapers too. I think I missed a piece here. Or something. Somebody can't live here. Oh well, you turn into a park. Or forest. Oh, I zoomed out quite a bit. Looks like there's a little bit of abandonment. Nothing crazy yet. But overall, I like it. Looks good. It's mostly filled in now. Kind of the edges are still a little off. But again, I gotta load some other cities. I know I'm beating the record here. Come on, render. How's the bus hub doing? Just curious of its use. 747% capacity used. It only has 1,000 people. It seems really low for a bus hub. It's really not the most efficient place. That's a busy station here. That's the one that was converting it all to bus traffic. 50% use though, so I mean it's still doing well. Because this is like right in the middle of the city, so this is a big. You can see commutes from all over town here. Oh, there's that building I don't like. And it's over here too. I need more. I know I already have a big plug-in folder, but I need more density buildings to get rid of all this repetition. Overall, though, I'm happy with things, the way that they're working. I'm approaching 35 minutes on this recording, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save, and then I'm going to try and do a zoom out for you guys. I don't know if I'll hit 1.7 million people. I might. Oh, well, while we wait for that, I'll load up the traffic, as I said I would. Traffic volume. So most people are taking the subway or walking. Walking usually involves taking the subway, right? Getting to the station, then driving. Then your other modes of transportation are a little bit lower. And then on the data view for traffic, just go to congestion here. So congestion looks pretty bad at the edges of the city, especially over on this side. That'll probably always remain congested. But the rest of it looks pretty moderate to heavy. Some areas are okay. And you can see the volume. Things are used pretty well. But I need to load once I load every city around it and it's aware of what Sims are living here now and what the road network's like, it'll adjust and become more of an inter-regional connection. So yeah, it looks like I hit 1.7 million people. I'm going to find a nice quiet spot to save. In order to reduce crashing, I like to go to a nice quiet area of town, usually like some water. And then zoom in all the way. I guess I'll show something here. And then just hit the save button. And then when I save, I don't click anything. I won't click anywhere. I leave my computer alone until I see the save pop up generate. And with an SSD that I've got, it usually just takes maybe a minute or two. With a brand new city like this, with all these new changes and stuff, maybe it'll take a little bit longer. Place your bets. See how long it takes. I should share some city skylines information with you. I know some people who watched my series for that. I've got some terrible bug in my city where water pollution just destroys everything. I should put a video up on that just so you can see my entire city just die from water poisoning. So I got to figure out just what the heck is going on. Alright, so my city's saved. So I'm going to put it back on pause. That may help minimize crashing. Get rid of the overlay and see what we can do to load the city at an overview. So this is a city at just over 1.7 million. We went from 0 to 1.7 million in the span of really about 20 minutes, because I was talking until about 17 minutes when I started the recording. Or no, I think this is going longer than I thought. I think I'm merging a couple parts together. Sorry if my timing's wrong. Oh, it is zooming out. It's just got to render. Lot of crap to render. Hope I don't get breath pox. I have it on two cities. It's the worst. It's the worst. So looking up here, it looks like there's still some industrial zones that can be filled in. There's only a couple residential spots left in the extreme west end, and then on this really heavy traffic prone east end, probably just due to high traffic volumes generate a lot of noise, and they also generate a lot of pollution, so that's probably why it's not preferred. I may change that to some commercial zoning, because that seems to be what's in demand. Yeah, it seems to be filled in pretty nice. People will like it. And then I'm just going to go to my region view now, just so you can kind of see it zoomed in. I just saved, so I'm not going to save again. It'll minimize the time it takes to load the region view. But every once in a while, when I exit the region, even without saving, it crashes. So hopefully I don't get that. Come on! Give it another... Oh, it crashed! It crashed. Oh well, I guess I'll end the recording with something funny. This is my desktop background right now. It's Papjan! Better ingredients, better pizza. Papjan! Extremely random way for me to end it, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Enjoyed some commentary for once. I will finish it here because I started to ramble without anything to show you. So yeah, have a good one, guys. I'll see you sometime in the future. See ya.